Good YouTube, it's your boy Blue Blood Sports TV back at y'all with another one. So, well-renowned trainer, former world champion, Mexican superstar trainer and boxer, Robert Garcia, who trains a plethora of champions, upcoming superstars within the sport of boxing, mainly his brother, 4-division world champion, Mexican superstar boxer, Mikey Garcia, who's seeking out to become a 5-division world champion. Well, Robert Garcia, he weighed in on a mega showdown that was just announced last week between legendary 8-division world champion, iconic Filipino superstar boxer, Manny Pacquiao, and undefeated, unified WBC IBF welterweight world champion superstar boxer, who is widely considered to be top 3 pound-for-pound fighters in the world, in Errol "The Truth" Spence Jr. Errol Spence Jr., 27 wins, no losses, no draws, 21 wins by way of knockout. He is 31 years of age. He stands at 5'9.5" with a 72-inch arm reach. He will be facing off against Manny Pacquiao August 21st. With that said, Manny Pacquiao, 62 wins, 7 losses, 2 draws, 39 wins by way of knockout. He himself was knocked out 3 times. He's 42 years of age, stands at 5'5.5" with a 67-inch arm reach, and he will be facing Errol Spence Jr. in his next fight. With that said, Mikey Garcia, Robert Garcia's brother, who he trains, he stated prior to fighting Errol Spence Jr. back in March of 2019, he stated that he saw something in Errol Spence that he believed he can exploit. He saw some weaknesses and some holes in the game of Errol Spence Jr. that he felt like he could exploit. Mikey Garcia, he mainly campaigned at 135 and 140, and he made the jump from 140 to 147, one weight class, because a lot of people, they'll tell you it's 2 weight classes, but 3 out of his last 5 fights were at 140. So he made the jump to 147, which is a 1 weight class jump. Okay. Yes, he's a world champion at 126, 130, 135, and 140. With that said, Mikey Garcia, he stated he saw a lot in Errol Spence that he felt like he can exploit. He stated that he saw a lot of himself in Errol Spence, but he believed he was the better boxer. And Mikey Garcia, he got in the ring with Errol Spence, and he lost every single round. Mikey Garcia is slightly bigger than Manny Pacquiao at 5'6" with a 68-inch arm reach. Mikey Garcia is 33 years of age. Mikey Garcia, at the time he fought Errol Spence, he was 39 wins, no losses. Okay, Mikey Garcia is now, 40 wins, 1 loss, 30 wins by way of knockout. Okay, and he's 33 years of age. Errol Spence won every single round against Mikey Garcia. And now Robert Garcia, trainer of Mikey Garcia, is stating that he believes that the 42-year-old legendary icon, Filipino superstar boxer Manny Pacquiao will stop Errol Spence Jr., or at least has the ability to stop Errol Spence Jr. Okay? We just have to look at the history right now. And when is the last time Manny Pacquiao has gotten a knockout victory over his opponents? Okay? Mainly a young, big, strapping opponent. We know he just fought former unified WBC, WBA welterweight world champion superstar boxer Keith one-time Thurman, and he got a split decision victory over Keith Thurman. So he didn't stop Keith Thurman, in which he dropped Keith Thurman in the first round. He badly hurt Keith Thurman in the 10th round, but Keith Thurman was hitting him with big, clean punches. He closed the gap, made it a close fight. Why? He only got a split decision victory over Keith Thurman. Prior to that, he faced 4-division world champion, superstar boxer Adrian "The Problem" Broner. He got a unanimous decision. He fought, prior to that, Lucas "The Machine" Matisse, who was far past it, who had been stopped, and he got a TKO victory over Lucas Matisse. That was back in July of 2018. Prior to that, he fought Jeff Horn. He got a unanimous decision victory over Jeff Horn. Prior to that, he fought Timothy Bradley, 2-division world champion. He fought Jesse Vargas. He got a unanimous decision victory over Jesse Vargas. He fought Timothy Bradley. He got a unanimous decision over Timothy Bradley. Prior to that, he fought Floyd Mayweather. He was unanimous decision the opposite way in favor of Floyd Mayweather. He fought Chris Algieri in 2014. He dropped Chris Algieri, I believe, 4 or 5 times in the fight, but he didn't stop Chris Algieri. He got a unanimous decision. Prior to that, he fought Timothy Bradley. He got a unanimous decision. He fought Brandon Rios, another Robert Garcia fighter. And Brandon Rios, he fought Brandon Rios. He didn't get a stoppage victory. He got a unanimous decision victory. Oddly enough, Timothy Bradley, who's not a big puncher, who has 13 knockouts in his entire career, he stopped Brandon Rios, and Manny Pacquiao was not able to. He then fought Juan Manuel Marquez back in 2012. He got brutally knocked out himself in that fight. Prior to that, he fought Timothy Bradley. He lost a split decision to Timothy Bradley. That was 2014, April of 2014. Now, I thought that he clearly won that fight, but Timothy Bradley got the decision. He fought Juan Manuel Marquez prior to Timothy Bradley back in 2011. He got a majority decision over Juan Manuel Marquez. He fought 2011, May of 2011, Shane Mosley. He got a unanimous decision. He dropped Shane Mosley 1 time. Prior to that, he fought Antonio Margarito in 2010. Now we're 11 years back. He got a unanimous decision over Margarito. Now he broke Antonio Margarito's eye socket in that fight, but he got a UD. Prior to that, he fought Joshua Clottey. He got a unanimous decision. Prior to that, 2009 is the last time he got a TKO victory. That was over Miguel Cotto, and a brutal knockout victory over Ricky Hatton in 2009. Prior to that, he did get the TKO over Lucas Matisse, but you have to go back. You have to go back 12 years. Okay? 12 years since the last time Manny Pacquiao has knocked somebody out. Lucas Matisse was far past his prime. He doesn't even count. Any relative opponent that he's faced, he didn't get any knockout victories. He got a stoppage over Lucas Matisse and Miguel Cotto, 2009, okay? And Ricky Hatton, the brutal knockout Ricky Hatton, those are both in 2009. That's 12 years ago. He's 12 years older. He was 30 years old when he got those knockouts. Since then, he's been getting unanimous decision victories. He's gotten some knockdowns, hurt a few of his opponents, but no stoppages. Errol Spence has never hit the deck in his career. He's shown a granted chin. So this leads me to believe that maybe there's a salty spot, a sore spot, because Errol Spence beat Mikey Garcia in the manner he beat Mikey Garcia and put the only blemish on Mikey Garcia's resume is why Robert Garcia is saying this. Nobody sees Manny Pacquiao stopping Errol Spence Jr. Now, anything is possible within the sport of boxing. But if there's going to be a stoppage in this fight, more than likely, it's going to be the opposite way. Most people can see Errol Spence, the bigger, younger man, a stronger guy, who's a southpaw, has a beautiful jab, has a lot of skill set, high ring IQ, okay defense. He doesn't have the greatest defense, but he's pretty good defensively. Now, we saw Chris Algieri. He stated that Manny Pacquiao does have one punch knockout power, one punch more power than Errol Spence. He said Errol Spence is an accumulation puncher. He breaks you down, but he put a lot of physical and mental pressure on you. So you have to date back 12 years since the last time Manny Pacquiao had a brutal KO victory. And the Lucas Matisse fight, he got the stoppage victory over Lucas Matisse. But Lucas Matisse was ready to quit anyway. It's not the first time Lucas Matisse had quit, okay? And he didn't look nearly a resemblance of himself, and that was 3 years ago. I'm going to say it again. He got the stoppage victory, TKO victory of Lucas Matisse, but that itself was 3 years ago. So I believe this is a part of the fact that Errol Spence beat Mikey Garcia the way he beat Mikey Garcia. dominating every single round of the fight. A big part of me believes that Robert Garcia is feeling a little bit salty about that. And he's saying that he believes Manny Pacquiao can stop Errol Spence Jr. So he's meaning by stopping him, accumulation of punches, not even just one punch knockout power. He believes he's just going to dominate Errol Spence and stop Errol Spence. If Manny Pacquiao can stop Errol Spence and dominate him in the manner that which Robert Garcia believes he can, then that will speak volumes for his career at 42 years old and being 11 years older than Errol Spence Jr. and being a smaller guy. Errol Spence is going to have nearly a 5-inch height advantage. He's 5'9.5", nearly a 5-inch height advantage over Manny Pacquiao. He's going to have a 5-inch arm reach with 72-inch arms with Manny Pacquiao 67-inch arms. He's going to have all these advantages, the bigger, stronger guy. And if Manny Pacquiao goes in there and stops Errol Spence Jr., well, that'll be one of the hugest wins in the history of the sport of boxing at any gesture, any fighter's career. So a part of me, like I said, I believe that Robert Garcia is feeling still a certain kind of way about Errol Spence and the fact that Errol Spence beat Mikey Garcia in the manner in which he did. And I think that's part that plays into why he says that he believes Manny Pacquiao will get a stoppage victory over Errol Spence Jr. Remember, they saw something in Errol Spence Jr. that they believe they can exploit. And initially, when that fight was being talked about and being made, Robert Garcia, like his father, the Big G, they didn't want to make this fight. They were saying that Mikey Garcia is making a mistake. And Robert Garcia said, well, I got to go along with my brother. If he feels like he can win the fight, then, well, we got to go with him. He also stated that he thought Jose Ramirez this past Saturday was going to stop and knock out. He guaranteed he was going to stop and knock out Josh Taylor in their undisputed match. And, well, the person that hit the deck twice in this fight was Jose Ramirez, oddly enough. He hit the deck twice, and Josh Taylor never hit the deck. Okay? Timothy Bradley, who was a pillow-fisted puncher for the most part, no slight to Timothy Bradley, 13 knockouts in his career. He knocked out Brandon Rios, and Manny Pacquiao couldn't knock out Brandon Rios. So what leads him to believe that Manny Pacquiao will dominate and stop Errol Spence Jr.? The fact that Errol Spence Jr. beat his brother in the manner he did, that could play a major part. So let's see how this unfolds August 21st. Errol Spence opens up at the odds-on favorite to beat Manny Pacquiao, as he should. I'm picking Errol Spence with his technical abilities, his southpaw stance, the size advantage, the reach advantage. He's a better skilled boxer than Manny Pacquiao, and the fact that Manny Pacquiao is 42 years of age, yeah, I'm picking Errol Spence Jr. by possible stoppage victory. But for the most part, I think he's going to get a unanimous decision victory over Manny Pacquiao. But let's see how this plays out August 21st. Make sure you hit the like button. Drop a comment in the comment section. Let me know what y'all think. Y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Blue, Blue Blood Sports TV. Hate, like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button, hit the bell icon to get all the new notifications. Follow me on Instagram at Blue Blood Sports TV, all one word. Y'all already know what it is. Shout out to the entire LDBC. Shout out to New Media. Shout out to Black Media Row. Make sure you like and share these videos. That's all I got for y'all. Peace.
Hi, my name is Heather Vahid Hardy, and you're watching Blue Blood Sports TV.